Why play Gypsy Jazz? Hello, I'm Michael from Gypsy Jazz Australia. My website is www.gypsyjazz.com.au, and I opened the store because I love playing Gypsy Jazz, but also want to make it a bit easier for everybody to get their hands on the good stuff, the good guitars and picks that us Gypsy Jazz players like to use. But primarily, and I've got to say there's never going to be much money in this, but primarily because I just wanted to help grow this style of music, particularly within Australia, and just bridge that gap a little bit between where you are now, perhaps as a player in another different style of music, and why get into Gypsy Jazz. And that's what this particular video is about, and it's part of a bigger series in a blog I've got going on my website, which is called An Introduction to Gypsy Jazz. And it's a lot of fun. And when I first started off, I actually ended up with the wrong teacher initially. Was playing, finger picking on an island string guitar, which I took to my first lesson with Miranda Douche, and she quickly introduced me to a good solid Gypsy Jazz guitar and a decent pick, and my world changed, and I haven't looked back. And I guess the reason I've got this video is I just want to sort of what do I love about it? Why would you want to make that change from playing other styles of music? And I got to say, my number one reason for getting into Gypsy Jazz music is because you get to jam. You get to play with other people. The style of music is set up so that it is guitar based. So whether you've got 2 guitars or 100, you've got a jam going on. And that's been a lot of fun. And one of the things I love the most is just catching up with other people and just having a blast, having a couple of beers, a glass of wine, and just sitting down and playing the music that we all love. Your classic, with jazz, you've generally got like a group of songs, your classics, your standards that are played, and you get to know those quite quickly in Gypsy Jazz, and particularly once you've got that rhythm down pat, you're up for playing with anybody, which is just awesome because once you got that rhythm going, you can be playing with some players that have been going for a good many years, and having a great time with them, and just being their little backup team, and they'll love you for that if you're doing a good job, The other side of it is I just find the music so fun. That's my number 2 reason. I do enjoy listening to it. My other job is actually, my primary business is a cafe, and I remember one of the girls, so I've been single for quite a bit, and one of the girls has said to me, Michael, if you're looking for somebody else that loves Gypsy Jazz as a single man, you're always going to be single because nobody likes Gypsy Jazz. But I tell you, they're coming around because it's just good fun. And there's some really interesting things going on. I think the more you listen to it, the more it opens up. And as a style of music to play on the guitar, it's you can't go wrong as far as I'm concerned. The other thing with the two is in its most basic form, Gypsy Jazz is really quite simple. Probably the most famous tune in Gypsy Jazz is Minor Swing, which has pretty much 3 chords, which you can all almost carry across in the same shape depending on how easily you want to play it. And that song in itself is probably one of the first ones you will learn in Gypsy Jazz. Yet that song has so many intricacies. If you listen to Django Reinhardt's, and Grappelli's solos over that piece, it's really quite something. So it's one of those sort of styles of music that's, I guess, in its simplest form, easy to learn. But yet everywhere you turn, there's another corner, another bend, another bunch of interesting arpeggios and ways and styles, and even different styles of rhythm, and different styles of music. You're moving from your classic swing songs into ballads, into bolero rhythms, into bossa nova or bossa style rhythms, and it opens up a whole world of opportunities and interest, and even if it's just something you do on the side, it's a great style of music just to sort of take your music perhaps up to the next level. Number 4, the reason I love Gypsy Jazz is you actually feel like you're getting to make music. After years of learning other people's songs and other people's finger pickings and other people's leads and all this sort of stuff, I mean, the classic thing with jazz is you do get to improvise, and as much as that can be a bit of a oh my goodness in itself, I actually find myself just spending a lot of time just creating lovely solos that I can play over the music, and I really feel like when I'm playing, well, that's a little piece of me going out there. It's not somebody else's music. I've taken those chords and I've turned them into my own little piece of music, and that's a great feeling. And you do find that you're sort of doing that in some form or another fairly early in the learning progress, particularly if you have come from guitar from another style. And that's so much fun. Another thing is you don't need a band. You just don't. Let's say 2 guitars and you've got your band. The style of music is designed to be percussive, to have its own drums. Django was all strings back in the day. He just had guitars and a double bass and a violin, and you could have called that an entire orchestra, what was coming out of those guys, you know. So, you know, you're not needing to sort of organise a drummer and a singer and all that sort of stuff. You can just catch up and sit down, pull out your acoustic guitars and play. It's that simple. There's no packing, no one packing, just turn up with a smile. And that's the other thing I was going to say. It's an acoustic one. So for me, I mean, I played electric guitar along the way, but I always did find that, you know, I was headphones, I was, you know, distorted music. It's just pure. It's just what's coming out of the guitar is what you're playing, you know. Anyway, that's the things some of them anyway, that I love about gypsy jazz. Yeah, the other things, there's a real community that builds around it. I'm going to say the other people playing, even your top professionals, are just so sweet. You know, it's jazz and they're just a laid back, low key. It's all about the music, nothing else. There's no pretentiousness going on there. There's festivals all around the world you can go and play. You can go visit all the big names. You can talk to the big names. You can have lessons off the big names. And you can hear them play. The Samwise Festival, with coronavirus, obviously that's not a go at the moment, but I'm looking forward to getting over to that and hanging out in a tent and just jamming with whoever's around at the time. I mean, there's so much going on in that community, both on a small level, but also on an international level. And anyway, they're the things that I get excited about as we move forward, and hopefully I get a bit better and I can hold my own when I'm meeting all these people. But thanks for listening. I hope that gives you a bit of an insight into why make that move, and the things that I love about it and, you know, so passionate about it. And I do look forward to jamming with you down the track when you're a little bit further down the road. All the best and thanks for listening. Bye now.